Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I know you are struggling to learn new words in English or in any language. I know how it feels when in a day you hear like dozens of new words, they come into your brain and then they just get wiped away and you never use them again. I've learned 3 foreign languages and I know how it feels. So today I'm going to talk about methods that are going to help you memorize the words, and actually with these methods you can learn thousands of new words in a day. So if you're interested, please continue watching this video. Method number 1. When you learn a new word, make sure that you've learned all of the forms of it. For example, there are some words in English that can be used both as a noun, which is an object, as a verb, which is an action. For example, milk. Yes, milk is a drink, comes from a cow, but to milk is actually a verb and it means to get milk out of a cow. So to milk seems obvious and you've already known the word milk, but yay, there's another meaning. So many words like that. The most obvious ones are, for example, love, hope, kiss, drive, work, and there are many more. So you learn one word, but you actually learn 2 words. Number 2, there are words that end with tion, for example, ambition. Guess what? In many languages, especially across Europe and maybe South America, they might sound completely the same. For example, ambition, Spanish, ambicion. Correct me if I'm wrong, I've never learned Spanish, but I'm trying for you guys. I know there are a lot of Spanish speakers watching. Ambition in German, ambizzione in Italian. Basically, these words are gonna sound pretty much the same. Other words that I can use: motivation, motivacion, motivazione, dissertation, profession, portion, intonation, convention, sanction, and many other words. Write down the list of them, they're all gonna be the same. So the trick is, all the words that end with tion in English are gonna sound pretty much the same in your language. Number 3, oh my god, is my favorite. Whenever you learn a new word, Google it first and go to the images section. You know why? Because sometimes you're gonna see pictures that are gonna remind you of characters or things you've seen before and you've named before, and they're just the same as the word that you're learning. For example, spear, which is a weapon. Hello, Britney Spears has the same last name, and I've actually used the word spear like thousands of times in my life because I love Britney Spears. Another word is beetle, and beetle is the small bug that can bite you, that flies, whatever, a beetle. And the first thing that comes to my mind, and that Google will show you, is New Beetle car by Volkswagen. The car, this small nice car, you know, there was this computer game when I was like 10 years old and you ran away from like police in Chicago. So they always used Volkswagen New Beetle. And yes, hello, I've been using this word for like hundreds of times in my life. Another great example is Gosling, and Gosling is a baby goose. And yes, Ryan Gosling, hello Ryan baby goose. You will remember this forever. Method number 4. What you need to remember is that words in English have several meanings and those meanings can be completely different, so make sure you learn at least 2 or 3 of those meanings. For example, the word to fire. To fire means to let somebody go, for example, an employee.
You're fired.
At the same time, the noun fire, you know, flames, all of that. If we talk about a word date, so to date means to go out with a loved one or with a person you really fancy, then a date itself is an action when you go out with somebody you love. Date is also this fruit or berry, whatever. They sell a lot of them, like a fig, a date. And there is another meaning. A date can be a day in a calendar. Again, you have like this word, but you actually have 4 different words. Another example is to miss, and to miss means miss a bus. When you lost the bus, it is gone. When you miss somebody, you really long to see them, and miss is a girl, so Miss Marina Mogilko, for example. Number 5, one of the easiest ones, because there are so many words that sound pretty much the same in every single language and you don't even need to translate or adjust them or whatever, you just pronounce them in an American way or pronounce them in a British way, whatever you want to sound. For example, aquarium. In Russian it's aquarium, in German it's aquarium, In French, I don't know, aquarium? I don't know, but you got what I mean. Other great examples are antidepressant, avocado, caramel, cocktail, scandal, organism. And I can go on, and that would be like hundreds of words that sound exactly the same as in many other languages. Another very important Are you recording? Yeah. Another very important rule when it comes to learning new words is having this safety net, and this is the way I define 100 most commonly used words in the English language. And if you know, I have released a video about those 100 words. If you know those 100 words, you actually know 50% of all written English, and those words include I, me, her, female, government, and there are hundreds of those. Please watch the video if you haven't watched it yet, and please write down all of those words, and they're gonna be really useful for you because you're gonna feel safer, you're gonna feel more relaxed when you have them because they just help you form your speech. Rule number 7. Sometimes words that we know, and that might sound pretty easy, can form different expressions. Like, for example, nuts. Nuts are things that we eat, but you can also say, are you nuts?
Are you nuts?
This doesn't mean are you like this thing that you can eat. This means have you gone crazy? There are so many expressions like that in English. So again, when you're learning a new word, make sure you know everything that is connected with it, whether it has other forms, whether it has other meanings, or maybe it is used in a completely different way in a different expression. Another great example, I feel blue. It doesn't mean that I feel like a blue color, it means I feel sad.
How's that feel, Blue?
An expression that you should learn is I'm all ears, which means I'm listening carefully.
Well then, I am all ears.
This is how we go to the next method. When you really like a phrase or a word or anything, try to use it straight away. For example, if you're enjoying watching this video, if you think that things that I say make sense, you can comment below, Marina, I was all ears while I was watching your video, or just Marina, I'm all ears, which means for me that you liked the content, which means that you were listening attentively, maybe writing things down. So you're writing a comment, but you are actually practicing, and you're making your brain train with this new word, you're making it memorize it even more. And my last advice, yes, we've talked about a lot of words that sound the same in many languages, but there are also false friends. I was really embarrassed when I was using eventually in German. There's a word that sounds like eventuell, and I thought it has the same meaning as in English. So for example, in English, eventually means in the end. In German, eventuell means perhaps, so it's just a completely different meaning. And there is the same thing with the word actual, so actual in English means current, and there is the word actual, I'm sorry for my pronunciation, actual in Spanish, and in Spanish it means real, not current. Be aware of those false friends, just double check anything you say, but at least when you're learning, when you're in the middle of a class, make sure to double check. It never hurts. Alright, these were the methods that would help you accelerate in learning a language, that will help you learn hundreds and thousands of new words a day. Please let me know if you liked this video. I'm looking for your comment. I was all ears, Marina. Like it if you enjoyed the content. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel. The button will be below. I hope to see you in the next videos. Bye!